Hello, champions, and welcome to What's My Role Podcast 31. Today, we'll be talking about everything that is War Within and what's coming in the new expansion. So stay tuned. I hope you enjoy the podcast. Alrighty, so with me today, I've got Bean.
What's up?
GT Goat.
Hello.
And Donnix.
Hey.
I'll be your host today. I'm Golden. And so we're going to be talking about everything that has to do with the War Within. So, guys, we can get into everything that's coming with Endgame. And I guess we can let's start with Mythic Plus. What's coming in Mythic Plus?
Let's just say this is our last podcast before War Within releases, right? So this is essentially our hype cast. And Mythic Plus. I know that the rewards for Mythic Plus have been a little bit nerfed, right? I think you're basically getting from Mythic Zeros, you're getting like veteran gear when we were kind of used to getting. You got like champion gear before, or was that from the Great Vault?
You did get champion gear, depended on the keystone level you were completing. But yes, champion gear was available, right?
Yeah.
In the vault.
Yeah, I think
so. Did you have something?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think once you got past Mythic Plus or Mythic Zero, so once you got like your Mythic 2s in, then you started getting champion stuff in your vault.
Yeah. So they definitely did nerf that a little bit, but I think it's because they're trying to push people into the delves, because you actually can get pretty decent gear from doing the delves, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Let me pull this up. Yeah, you can get, when you're doing like a tier 8 and higher delve, you can get like 603 gear. So I think for this season, it's going to be really important for us to do a little bit of everything and not just be getting our gear from the mythics only, because we're going to end up under geared pretty quick, I would say. And it's already going to be a little bit of a struggle to even get out of Mythic Zero, because there's kind of just a really big difficulty leap, even from heroic to Mythic Zero, and then Mythic Zero going up. Each one up is significantly harder.
And like you were saying before, you can tell they're trying to push us into delves anyways. So,
yeah. I think that's good too. I think that's good that they're making it relevant too, because that was one of the things we actually talked about when they first announced delves, where we're like, well, is this really going to have any relevance if you jump straight into Mythic Plus? So I am really glad to see that I don't think of it as forced. I think it's a way of making sure you get to experience that content, and that content feels like it's worth your time, you know?
Yeah, it's like they're encouraging us to do other stuff besides just grind mythics, which I could see, just grinding mythics, you could maybe get burnt out or bored. And then I would much rather be, if I'm doing other content, I'd rather be doing stuff like delves and raids and other things, and maybe not just relying on stuff like, I know there's probably going to be stuff like Super Bloom, but that's not the main thing I want to have to worry about each week. Is like, oh, got to do my 10 to 15 minutes waiting to follow this tree around or something.
So right here on tier 1, they're calling for 561 to start off my level. So
you're talking about delves, or are you talking about
delves in tier 1?
Okay, you start off at 561.
Yeah, it's recommended, so it shouldn't be that hard to achieve.
Okay. See, when I was researching, I should have pulled up what eye level you get from dungeons, but I did not think that far ahead.
It's all good, buddy.
But I did, well, on the channel, we kind of we haven't done the beta, right? We've purposefully been avoiding a lot of this content because we wanted to kind of go in with like fresh eyes, right?
Yes, 100%.
Yep.
So for Mythic Plus, I think, like you said, the one of the mistakes, or I guess lessons we had to learn painfully, I think, was that we didn't want to, or because of the amount of time that we had to play, we were trying to push past Mythic Zero as quick as possible. And so we were like basically running into a wall. You know what I mean? So we would do a 0, beat it, try to jump straight to a 2. It would get, we'd not time it. we'd go do another 0, we'd do it 2, not time it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, kind of bouncing back and
Versus,
forth.
yeah. So I think you're right. We're gonna need to make sure we spend enough time doing heroic, and then obviously spending some time in Mythic 0. And this will be good too because I'm sure there's gonna be plenty of guides out there, but it's not gonna be like how it was when we jumped in late in season 3, where we had all the resources to constantly look up every little minute detail to every dungeon in Dragonflight and then learn from that. So I think it's going to be really important that we stick around in Heroic and in Mythic 0 before we try pushing too fast, so we can actually really learn these dungeons, and make solid progression when we decide to continue progressing.
And
Yeah,
you were
for
dragging on
sure.
a new guy too.
Oh, you're not new now. Now,
Yeah.
now you're veteran. Yeah.
No
You got a couple
excuses
seasons
anymore.
under your belt
Yeah.
now.
Thank you for your service.
Notice step back. Daddy Shay has done.
Okay. All right.
Other than the War Within dungeons that are in that season, what do you guys think of the other existing ones that we've seen before?
Okay, so I'm familiar with Miss of Tyrna Scythe or Sith. I think it's Scythe. We did play that. Well, me and you, Golden, we played that together
Yes.
in Shadowlands. I don't think I ever did Siege of Borealis.
Siege of Borealis or Borealis?
Yeah.
You know, I don't. The name doesn't ring a bell.
It's from
So
BFA.
is that the one where you start off outside of the dungeon and you have to work your way inside?
I think so. It's the one that's like on the lower docks in Borealis.
Yeah. The
I
dungeon
don't
is
know enough about
essentially
Borealis.
that city, right?
Yeah.
So I've only seen like the entrance to it just because I've been to the city, but I've never done that dungeon. I've never done Grimbatal either. And then what's the other one? Oh, it's
Necrotic Wake.
Yeah, Necrotic Wake. Okay, I've done Necrotic Wake and I've done Miss of Tyrna Scythe. So I enjoyed when I was playing the Shadowlands dungeons. It was quite some time ago, and I don't even remember. I think I was playing a hunter. I don't know their method for choosing, but I enjoyed the Shadowland dungeons. I don't know if it's like rose-colored glasses or whatever,
Yeah.
but we'll
Was
see. I'm excited
Sanguine
for it.
Depths?
Oh yeah,
I think
those
it
were
was
some,
it
those
was
were
it
some fun
Sanguine
times.
Depths? That was some rough times too.
Yeah, that room where there's like you're in a circular room and the like waves are coming around. You got to be like inside, outside.
Yeah. Yeah. It is Sanguine Depths. Yeah. Yeah, that one was fun, but that was challenging for
Oh
sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
good stuff there.
What about are you guys glad that they're sticking with the season 4 keystone progression? Like how now 0 is the 10? Like do you guys prefer that or do you wish it went back to how it was in season 3 and past it, Mythic Plus experiences?
I think I prefer it this way. If only just because Mythic Zero is not timed. So even though it is much more difficult, you're not fighting the clock. You can really take your time and learn it, which
Yeah.
is going to be to our benefit because we're very special people. So it might take
That's
us a
right.
minute to learn everything that we need to learn. But I overall like it. I like not having like a million different things you got to get through. And then a
Yeah.
lot of those lower level ones, you kind of just breeze through them anyway. So
Yeah.
But that's what
Well,
makes you feel so good.
I think that this being the first season, we'll really get an idea of what the effect is of that change. Because when they made that change, we were already kind of decently geared to start. At least to start Mythic Zeros. Now we're kind of going in at leveling, getting whatever gear we can, and then going into the season, whether we run heroics or what. So I think this will be like a good way of figuring out exactly what that's going to feel like.
yeah, that's a good point. And it's not just like the gear you get from running that, but there's also like the crest system and the upgrading your gear thing, that's new with Dragonflight, right? So
Right.
even
Yeah.
though we'll be getting not as good gear from like Mythic Zero and stuff, we'll still have the vault. We'll still be getting crests that we can upgrade our gear with. We'll be, doing delves. We'll be doing raids. So we do have a lot of sources. So as long as we're doing all our activities, I think we'll actually be able to gear up at a pretty good speed.
Yeah. Good stuff, man. Since we already talked a little bit about delves, let's get into delves, man. I'm super pumped for this actually. I think this is a great thing to add to the game. I think it's awesome that they placed it um that there's progression, right? So I think it's tier 8 will get you a great vault reward,
Well,
right?
I think
Completion of tier 8.
I don't think you even have to do tier 8. Tier 8's the max
Oh, it's the
reward
max
you can
reward.
get
You're right. You're
in
right.
the
My bad.
delve.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Yeah. I think that's great and it's perfect, especially for like solo players or people who want to learn a new class. Like if you've never healed before, you've never tanked before, um, or just getting comfortable with a class you never played before, you can jump into Delve and kind of get that Mythic Plus esque dungeon experience before jumping in. But then if you want to have just personal progression or your friends aren't on or you can't find a group but you want to progress, um, I'm glad that that's an option now. I think it's great.
Yeah, it's like a whole new kind of activity. My favorite things about it are that you can do it with 1 through 5 people. So you have like this flexible mode. Then it's also role agnostic, so it doesn't matter. We don't have to like figure out, oh, I don't want to heal or whatever. It doesn't matter. Everyone just jump in and
Right.
whatever you want to play is what we're playing. And then it's seasonal, which I didn't really know about that before because I had purposefully been kind of avoiding that kind of stuff. But each season there's going to be, I guess, new rewards and stuff. I don't know if there's going to be new delves each season or if they're going to change the delves each season or like exactly what different aspects will be seasonal with it,
Right.
But yeah, I think it's really cool and it's also replacing the PvP track in the Great Vault.
Yeah.
So that kind of
Yes.
shows how seriously they're taking this mode as an end game progression, end game activity. It's like it's got its own track in the Great Vault, so it's going to be pretty important, right?
Yeah, buddy.
Better be.
I wonder if the like seasonal stuff has to do with the mount.
Could.
Like
Oh,
the
that's a
different
fair
rewards.
point.
Yeah.
Yeah. That working similarly to Mythic Plus, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a fair point.
My big thing about this is it gives us something to do when other people aren't on. Because there's so many times that I'm like, oh, I want to jump on and play WoW, but no one's jumping on and I don't want to do anything else. So I guess I just won't play. But it gives
Right.
us all individually something that we can work on outside of group time, outside of doing mythics, dungeons, raiding, which is nice. It gives you more incentive to play.
Yeah, it for sure gives if nobody's on, you still have a way to get some gear and progress your character and be ready for, you know, whether we're doing mythics or raids, you'll be ready for some more activities just by doing this. Looking at the bottom though, it does say bottom of this page here, which we'll share in the description. You will get there's a mount from the Glory of the Delver achievement. There's a like cosmetic back piece you can get from it, and then there's of course the customizable like dirigible. I don't know how you pronounce that. Dirigible.
You got it. You had it the first time.
Okay. So it seems like each season there's going to be new kind of rewards in all these different ways, shapes, and forms. So, and I'm sure there's probably like transmog and stuff too from it too.
Good stuff, man. Good for Goat too.
What did I do?
Oh, just said it's good. Delves are good for you too, with being a newer. I will say you are no longer new. You are just newer player in World of Warcraft.
I'm
right?
the newest. in this
Well,
group.
what do you think about the delves?
I've been looking into it. I mean, like I was saying, it's something different and new for everybody. So everybody's going to get their first little taste of what delves is, and I think that's going to determine whether or not they actually keep it around. Now, the seasonal thing was a surprise to me, but
I didn't know that either until Bean said it.
everything's seasonal until everybody likes it. It's like I if I had to guess, we're probably going to see something like Pandaland come back in the next 2 years, just to spice things up again.
Like
Hopefully,
remix?
yeah, just a remix of a different area.
But what about you? Like, are you looking forward to learning as a new player, like learning new characters and realizing that you don't have to jump or wait for us to hop on a night? You can go jump in a delve and kind of get that dungeon experience. You know what I mean? Make you feel more comfortable before you jump into Mythic Plus or before you just jump into Heroic for that matter.
Oh yeah, that was kind of one of my personal goals for this year, was to actually try to venture out from the group to do my own stuff.
Because this gives you that opportunity.
Usually,
man.
I just hop on and hunt mounts. I don't have to bug
Which is
anybody
not-
else.
That's not bad, but there's probably better ways you could spend your time to be gearing up and stuff.
Oh, there's definitely better ways.
No one said I'd like to spend my time wisely.
Yes, it is
I
that.
just spend it.
Exactly.
Don't matter what I'm spending it on.
This time's burning a hole in my pocket. Yeah.
Gotta use it or you lose it.
Get some more beer.
Well, what about raids, guys?
Okay,
I do want to say, well, hold on. I do want to say, dude, this whole what is it, Warbound until equip thing?
Yeah.
So cool. I think that is so cool, man. I'm super excited for that.
Yeah. I guess some people are
Yeah.
calling them woos.
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 It's the WUE.
Yeah.
Woo.
Explain this woos to me. I'm not too detailed in it.
So let's say you're doing a raid and you have the chance for it to drop gear that is beneficial for another class within your war band, as far as I understand it, right? And it will drop gear. However, this particular item that will be shareable with your war band, it will be a slightly lower level. I can't remember exactly how low. Bean, do you remember what they said as far as how much lower than what you're actually, the content you're doing?
It's one, not tier. Is it tier? I think it's one tier below.
Yeah, you can call it tier. Yeah.
I think if you had like a piece of champion gear, it would drop whatever's right under champ.
Right underneath. Yeah.
Is that veteran?
Yes.
I think it's veteran.
Either way, one tier below. Yeah. So that's awesome because this whole warband thing has been about taking better advantage of your alts. And so this is a great thing, like, for them to incorporate into the game that further supports taking advantage of playing alts.
Oh yeah. This whole expansion has been like super, they're definitely like embracing the fact that people like playing on alts.
Yeah. I like this because it's like, okay, I mean, how many times during the last season, or hell, even since we jumped in at season 3, did we make some changes to what classes we were playing? Like, oh, you know what? I think this might be better, or I think I might enjoy playing this class more. And then you're like, oh God, I got to do all the work that I did with this, this character again with this other one. So I like that. Obviously, you're not going to be exactly where you were with your main, but you are going to be much further along with gear that has dropped from doing things like that, or you can be much further along from doing activities that drop that gear and help you get geared up a lot quicker.
Interesting.
And the other big thing, anybody else want to? There's another big thing, or at least it might just be in my head, but the ability to solo the raids for the story.
Oh yeah, the story mode raids.
Hell yeah, man. I'm super pumped about that because I can't tell you how many times in past expansions when I didn't really have a group to play with, I would get to the point in the quest where it would be time to do the raid. I'm like, oh well, all right,
Time to go to
well,
YouTube.
I'm done here now because I don't have a group to go do this with, or you know what I
Dang.
mean, or I didn't want to do LFR, or I didn't feel comfortable, or felt like I'd screw everything up even in LFR back then. So I really
Right.
like that I don't have to take a pause or try and jump into a group to go do it. Um, I can just go solo it. And you get to experience the raid. Like get to like, oh, so this is what it's gonna look like. Oh, this is the direction I'm gonna need to go. Instead
Yeah.
of jumping into LFR or trying to do it your first time on normal and running around with no idea where to go in the raid. So I'm super pumped for it, man.
Yeah, it's awesome. Like, of course, it's nice to see the conclusion of the story. So it's really nice that they're kind of allowing everybody to kind of go in solo and basically story mode it, and then they don't have to
Yeah.
worry about any kind of, oh, I don't know the raid, I'm stressed, or I'm socially anxious, or any other issue. They can just play the video game.
Yeah, man.
Stop yelling at me.
It's
I'm
good
doing the
stuff.
best that I can.
Move your fat ass out of the circle.
No, that's a really cool idea, and I wish they would have done it a long time ago because there's so many
Absolutely.
cool like story moments within every expansion that if you're not rating, you miss. And then you have to go on
Yeah.
YouTube and look at the cutscene, and it's not the same. Like it's way more impactful when you're in that dungeon, you're going through it, or that raid, and you're going through it and kind of seeing things build up, and then you get that cool cutscene at the end.
Right.
Um, it's just it sucks that it took them this long to get to that because
Yeah.
yeah, there's tons of really cool.
What was that raid that we did last weekend?
The Battle for Azeroth one we did, or was
Yeah.
Oh no,
oh, the Argus one?
Yeah.
yeah,
What's the
That's
name of that one?
Antorus.
And Torres.
Burning
So there's an
Throne.
example. I'll go ahead and say it. That's one of the ones I never did. I
Yeah.
never did that raid at all.
Yeah, and the cutscenes were sick too. And that one.
Yeah, it was really good.
A lot of cool lore stuff there. So
Yeah, man.
yeah, it was nice to do that. Definitely looking forward to that going in the future here too. Yeah.
Yeah. So I know we're looking forward to rating. And Mythic Plus, obviously, we already talked about those and the Dells. But how about getting into something that we've maybe dipped our toes in, but haven't really gone full in the water yet? PvP.
Okay. I do want to play PvP. I am anxious about it. Because it's almost feels like a whole different game, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of kind of information, and you kind of really have to understand not just your class, but kind of everybody that you're playing against. So, uh, I'm gonna be dipping my toes for sure into this like solo BG ranked thing. And any nights when everybody else is feeling like it, obviously, I'd love to all of us just queue together into even normal BGs. I think it'll be fun. But I am looking forward to it. I've never really seriously experienced it. I did play it a little bit in season 3, I want to say, with the enhancement shaman, but not like I wasn't like doing arenas or anything.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm more than willing to join you. You do know my feelings on PvP
Yeah.
and World of Warcraft, but I am willing to get into it now because I do think. Oh, I'm hoping that PvP will get more attention. Hopefully we don't have to wait till next expansion. Hopefully it's something that they start incorporating within this expansion. I do think there needs to be some major changes to make it more new player friendly. Or even hell, how about people who've been playing WoW for a long time but haven't jumped into it? But I do like the fact that a lot of complaints for progression in PvP, I guess, from the community would be that it felt time gated, kind of like how we wait for our weekly reward out of the vault. So now the
Yeah.
PvP gear, the PvP stuff's not going to be taking up a slot in the Great Vault anymore. And I know that I think it's, what is it? It's going to cost honor and bloodstones to get the Vicious Jeweler setting, which is going to allow you to socket your PvP gear
Mm-hmm.
instead of having to wait, and so it's not so time gated. But I am super excited for like even the event, the the battleground. If I say it right, the battleground blitz,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
also solo queuing in the ranked stuff. So yeah, man, I'm right there with you. Super pumped for it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always down for playing PvP. Like, it just always seems like we talk about it and then we end up, oh, everybody's on, let's do mythics or
Yeah.
something like
Yeah.
that. But like until I started playing with you guys, I've always played on PvP servers in the past.
Mm.
Like all leveling up through vanilla, BC, Wrath of the Lich King. I was on a PvP server, so like
So you're pretty
it's
well used
fun.
to it.
Kinda. It's a little different when you're that kind of PvP over like battlegrounds and stuff like that, but
Right.
it was always fun. I don't know. Like I'm always down for it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's kind of the tough part about it is usually when everybody is on, we kind of do want to let's push these mythics or let's do this
Yeah.
raid.
Yeah,
So maybe we need to just like,
Make another night.
yeah.
yeah, as if we have enough time to do everything.
You know, the real reason I think that we do that, well, for one, PvP, like there's yes, you can get your rank up, right? But I think with Mythic Plus, it's the roles are very well defined. Um, you're only relying, I mean, if you're gonna do a BG and you have more than 5, right? Then you're relying on people who are outside of your group to do this type of content.
Hmm.
Whereas in Mythic Plus, we're just relying on each other. It's just our group, so there's not you don't have that pressure with other people being involved. Um, and I think the mechanics are and everything is usually pretty straightforward once you figure it out. But when you get into PvP in WoW, it's just a whole nother world. And I feel like it takes a second because I know when I jumped into PvP, I don't know what the hell was going on. You know what I mean? The
Yeah.
first time, like, how did I
Yeah.
die? Why do I keep getting CC'd? I don't know what's going on. It's not as the mechanics are not as clear, I don't think, as when you go into a PvE environment and you play Mythic Plus.
Yeah. And
And you
when
know
you're
what I mean?
fighting like a trash mob, there's only so many things it's going to do. It's
Right.
going to do the same thing. It's very predictable. And then when you're playing against
Right.
people, you know what the fuck they're going to do. It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
like
Right.
mind games
Yeah.
on top of trying to know what you
Yeah.
need to do as well. So it's just a lot. So I mean, I guess that does make sense why we probably are like, oh, we're all here. Let's just go do
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Well,
But
honestly, all
yeah,
of us together
100%.
in a PvP would probably be somewhat awesome.
I want to
Oh,
say if we
100%.
all
It'd be
like
fun.
learn it and have a
Yeah.
basic understanding of what we're doing, I think it could be something that we would probably get hooked on. But it is kind of like
Yeah.
there's a big time investment and a big
Yeah.
what do you call it? Like a learning curve that we kind of got to get past.
100%.
So I'm gonna dabble in it, and I want to eventually get past that learning curve. If we can all get there together at some point, I know it will be a lot of fun. Might end up the other way
Absolutely.
where instead of playing Mythic Pluses, we're like, let's play PvP now.
Right. Absolutely. Well, I know we talked about the end game coming, right? We covered Dells, we talked about raids a bit, Mythic Plus, and one of the things I do want to say though, because I think this does contribute to the game, is even though I know I'm not a big story buff, but I do think story really sets the tone of the game and kind of like the colors that are used, and you know what I mean. Like it, Dragonflight felt very bright.
Hmm.
Um, And this one feels darker, and I like the darker. I like the darker feeling look. Um, and so I'm really excited for that, man. I'm really excited to experience just the look of this expansion and really get into it.
Yeah, it looks awesome. I really like that three of these zones. I know some people kind of bitch about it, but I like that a lot of this is all underground. And you're
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
progressively going deeper and deeper into Azeroth, and things get gnarlier
Yes.
as you go down. And then the Nerubians are this like ancient civilization, and they're being corrupted by the void. And Xalatath is like a fucking badass villain, right? And I don't think we're gonna defeat her this expansion. Honestly, I think she's gonna fuck us up, and things are gonna go wrong. So I really do like that with the story. I think it's more exciting when I feel like there's going to be higher stakes, right?
Yeah. The direction, everything, the art style. I've been really happy with the shorts and the short animation clips that Blizzard has put out. I'm not so much a fan of the stop motion stuff, but the most recent thing with
Illyria
oh
stuff.
goodness, what is her name? Yes, with Illyria. I thought that was fantastic.
Dude, I really want like a Warcraft animated series or like anime style or something. It'd be sick, right?
It would be.
But what about you, Donnix?
I mean, zone wise, what I've seen from like the towns and stuff, it looks pretty cool. I kind of want to see more of like the dwarf. What are they called? The
Earthen.
Earthen. Yeah, their areas, because I like the kind of like that runic type look that they have and their buildings have.
100%.
So it'll be really cool
100%.
to see more of that. And I'm interested to see kind of more of what's that other new race? I'm blanking on them. The
Rubians?
No,
the Harkonnen, I think.
Yeah, the like bat people.
Yeah, what's up with those?
Yeah. Well, what I want to see what kind of like, you know how like every race kind of has like a style, right? So like the buildings are a certain style, their gear is a certain style. So I'm always interested to see when they bring in new races what their aesthetic is going to be, and we haven't really seen much of, or I haven't really seen much of that for them other than just their model.
Yeah. I bet they're going to be like, since they're kind of like bat people, I think they're going to have like villages like hanging from the ceiling or some shit. Like
Wouldn't that be dope?
That'd be fucking cool, right?
They kind of remind me of Avatar.
Yeah,
The
like
movie,
the Navi.
Yeah.
They definitely have that vibe in that last trailer they put out.
Righty, boys. Well, what are our goals though? So I know we talked a little bit, but like, what is it that everyone personally is trying to achieve, and kind of what do you want to, as a group, you know, what are we looking for to feel, you know, to get satisfaction out of this expansion and like really, you know, get the full experience?
For me, I want to master Prop Pally. That's why I've decided I'm going to stick with it again. I want to become knowledgeable with it and be able to.
Perfect.
You know, I want to be good with it, and I want to experience everything that the expansion has to offer. So I kind of just want to stick my fingers in all the pies and get all the flavors, you know.
Ooh.
And yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Anytime, baby, anytime.
And then I took a little like spinner wheel, which I shared with you guys, that had all the classes and specs on it. And I decided I was going to spin that thing twice to decide what class I'm going to do for PvP and what class is going to be my main alt that I kind of have a similar goal with, to not master, but learn it at least so I understand it. So Devastation Evoker is going to be my alt, my main alt that I'll be like pugging and playing with like our audience, viewers and guildies and stuff. So I'll kind of do a little bit of everything with that as well, but it's my alt. And then for PvP, of course, I rolled Ret Pally. So I'm just double dipping on Paladin this season.
Yeah.
It's
And
not a bad choice.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be fun. And I think I'm gonna do this every season. I'm gonna roll for PvP, I'm gonna roll for my main alt. That way I can kinda learn the game, learn the classes, be able to speak from a position of knowledge, and so I'm not just some like bumbling idiot that has a WoW podcast for some reason. So those are my personal plans. I've got some group plans that I'll talk about in a second once everyone's kind of set their piece.
Yeah, I think personal goals for me is just to try to stick to one character maybe for my main. I'm really bad about being like, oh, you know what, that looks real fun. I think I want to play that now, or you know,
grass is always greener for you.
I don't think that's necessarily bad, man.
No, it's not bad.
I know how to play lots of different classes, and lots of different
Yeah.
specs. But no, and really kind of going through and trying to get as much as I can out of the expansion. You know, I have a hard time grinding out renown or rep or whatever you want to call it. I hate doing it. I hate the system. But I miss out on a lot of stuff from not doing it. So one of my goals is to kind of take advantage of those systems and actually get everything I can out of them.
Especially now that it's account wide, right?
Yeah, exactly. So now, at least now, it kind of makes sense to at least do it with one. You know.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, a lot of times I get very kind of zeroed in on, okay, mythics. All I care about is whatever I need to do to get myself to where I'm running mythics. So I end up skipping out on, oh, I should do these dailies or I should do this, you know.
Absolutely.
So, do you have a solid main picked out?
Hell no.
Ah, goddamn! We're about to be playing this shit in a few days, bro.
I got 4 characters waiting, and I got a feeling that after the first or second day, I'll have it figured out.
Yeah. Well, we
I'm
got
between-
some time before the Mythic season starts anyway.
Truthfully, for
Yeah,
my
buddy.
main, I'm between Elemental Shaman and Survival Hunter.
I think either of those will be fun.
Yeah, man. How long you want to stare at me? Are you gonna say something? Jesus
I
Christ!
thought about saying something like, no, I'm
Trying
going
to
to
raise
wait.
you up, bro.
Mine's more just map knowledge and staying current with the current events and what's going on. Because I can't tell you how many times I'm just lost. I'm like, oh, I know I'm supposed to be in this area. And it's like when we go to the dungeons or wherever else, I'm like, yep, you better give me a little pointer on a map with the dot. Tell me where to go.
Well, this will be good because you can get out there, get lost, and explore, and that'll help you
everyone
learn the
else will be
game.
just as clueless as you
Yeah,
are.
everyone
for
will
a
be just
I
bit.
know.
clueless.
I did focus on y'all a lot last season of like, oh, we're going there. Do I have to go through those magical mirrors in that special room? Which one of these magical mirrors? So I would say that's probably what I need to be focusing on. And like I said, Delve is going to be a good step for me.
Maybe the basics of maneuvering or making your way
Travel,
through the map
yes.
and learning how to travel through World of Warcraft.
Yeah, just becoming more knowledgeable in general, I guess, about what you're doing, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I did kind of get thrown into all of it, so I'm having to like backwards learn everything. You're all like, it's simple. You hit Control, Shift, Q, and R at the same time, and then it takes you there. I'm like,
What the
no,
fuck?
That's a little dishonest. That's a little dishonest, but okay.
Let's just bend.
I'm just saying,
Yeah.
to y'all, it's
Let's
just
make it sound
click,
way
click,
more
click, click.
complicated.
I need to go to the porter room, and we'll go over here, and we'll do that. And I'm like,
So you get in the game more, you'll learn more.
Yep.
There you go.
Yeah, buddy.
PvP will be fun if we try that. I did enjoy it when we did it for that little segment of time. As for all the other new content coming out, I think it will be quite enjoyable from my end, since we'll be on a level playing field.
You have a main?
Rep Pally or Death Knight.
Makes sense.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense.
I've heard that Frost is actually very good.
Yes.
Yeah,
at the
They're
moment,
getting
at
some
least.
love.
Yeah.
Really good.
But you know who's not getting love?
Four guys sitting in a podcast for World
That's
of
about
Warcraft.
right.
No love.
For myself, I know we were telling ourselves we'll get it, and I know that we will. It just takes time, but I really want us as a group to hit that Keystone Master, get that mount, and kind of have just that those bragging rights and that title. And even though I don't think it's a crazy goal, but I'll be really happy with that. I kind of want to go the completionist route on this thing, kind of like what Donnix was saying. I have never been a fan of the monotonous like daily stuff. Like, oh, you need to go do these same things over and over again to get a certain currency or to get whatever to progress faster.
Yeah.
So usually I just don't care, and it's like, well, I'm not going to do it anyways. It's not what I enjoy in the game. I'm hoping that's a little bit more fun this go around in this expansion, and I really do plan on doing everything. Like I want to do literally everything, every side quest. I want to get my rep up with if there is rep stuff with factions, which I'm also not the biggest fan of, but if that is there, I want to max those out. Like I want to have all the mounts, all the toys. I want to do everything in this expansion that has to offer. It's definitely by far, since Legion, the most I've been excited for an expansion in a while. Um, I'm really looking forward to getting into PvP. I would really like to complete all of the raids that are coming in this expansion on normal, hopefully heroic difficulty. We'll see. And I'm really hoping for any of those of you who are listening, I'm really hoping if you're needing people or you wish you could experience that too, by all means, you're more than welcome to come join our group and learn and experience that with us. I would really love to have that with the community and learn those together and get that done, man. I think it'd be awesome.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Friday nights. We're going to be raiding Friday nights. So hopefully we can get some of you guys in here. That'd be awesome.
100%. Hit us up in the Discord.
Oh yeah. We're there. We're making an effort to be more talkative in there.
100%. So let's get this roll call going. So we can start off with these YouTube comments.
Do you want me to
I know
do
you
the
had
group
some
plans real quick? Or
Oh yeah, go ahead, man.
Okay, so I do have a couple group goals, I guess. We're planning on doing raids Friday nights. We're planning on doing mythics for us, our like what's my role group only on Saturday nights, so we can stay focused and try and meet our personal goals. I think we should try and aim for completing the delves at their highest difficulty. I think we should aim for 2500 IO because I think we would have had 2000 if there weren't other circumstances for season 4. And I do want the whole group to hopefully be able to complete the full heroic raid as well. And I think those are good goals for season 1. I think we can meet them all. And then for the channel, we just got to stay consistent. We're going to do the podcast. We're going to put out video guides and maybe even some shorts here and there. Probably be streaming when we do those Friday night raids as well. And also, other goals for the channel, reach 1K subs and get monetized. So maybe we can start getting some moolah to reinvest into this project. But yeah, those are our goals. So yeah, I guess
man.
we are ready to did roll call, right?
Roll call.
Roll call.
I could start off with the from the podcast video because there's only one comment in there anyway. So So we had at ch.kv say, "Hey, nice new episode. Looking forward to hearing about the War Within. Finally got some specs picked. So much appreciation for coming and commenting on the video, man. Hopefully you'll enjoy this podcast since that's what you were looking forward to, is hearing about the War Within. And do let us know, man. You got some specs picked, so let us know what they are, man."
Oh yeah. What? I don't think you said your main golden. I think I know already though.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Since I will be maining Mistweaver. Just like you, my goal is to master Mistweaver. Absolutely master it. I will be, as an alternate, I will be working on a shaman as well, maybe a druid. I have not decided. I might work on both of those, but I will definitely be maining a Mistweaver for sure.
Yeah. And you heard the rest of our mains. For those of us that have selected mains. No shame. No shame. Okay, next comment we had Hobart on the top add-ons every new WoW player should know about video. Said, great advice, brother. Keep up the good work. And I super appreciate it. Thank you
Mhm.
so much. I'm glad that I could be of any help whatsoever with that video. Who else did we have? We had Jeffrey Wayne on that same add-ons video
Mhm.
asking about if add-ons are safe from hackers, bugs, etc. And to my knowledge, CurseForge is pretty safe. Am I right, guys?
Yeah.
I'm not an
Yeah,
expert.
yeah.
I've never heard, knock on wood, I've never heard of there being a huge like blow up on online of people talking about like, oh, this has been infected,
Yeah.
or this has been corrupted and this has ruined my game. So, I mean, yeah, definitely don't go just search the web at a random website and download stuff that says it's a WoW add-on. But
Yeah.
definitely stick this CurseForge, or at least that's my opinion. I think that's Bean and everyone else's opinion as
Yeah.
well. Use that add-on manager; it's trusted.
Kinda
They're only gonna
curated.
you're gonna download. It's gonna let you know which ones are most popular, things like that, and basically could tell you a list of which add-ons you can use, and those are gonna be fine to use.
Yeah.
And you will run into bugs, and a
Oh,
lot of
yeah.
times those bugs show up like if there's a new patch and they haven't got a chance to
Hmm.
update the add-on. So that is stuff that can happen usually with the more in high demand mod or add-ons. Um, they get patched pretty quick, so it's not too big of an issue.
Yeah, those super popular ones the authors stay on top of pretty well. But yeah, they're add-ons, so usually with the patch there is some breaking of add-ons happening, so things might not always work, but if it's a popular one, give it some time and I'm sure it will be fixed. Okay, who else did we have? We had Noah Wagoner on the Start Strong in WoW Essential Tips for New and Returning Players video. I am brand new to WoW, played Final Fantasy 14 for 10 years. Holy shit. How long has Final
Yeah.
Fantasy
Right, he's
14
a
been out?
veteran. It's been out for a while, man.
It's been out, yeah, for a while.
God damn.
20. I'm gonna get chewed
Whoa.
out for this, probably, but I think 2014, something like that. 2014, 2012.
Mm,
Something
I'm
like
not
that.
sure.
Anyways, we can keep rolling.
Yeah. Did I finish that? 10 years. So I decided to go with an evoker healer. I love it. Great guide. It helped a lot. Once again, I'm super happy that I could be helpful at all. That's awesome, though. I've only played Final Fantasy 14 a little bit, and it was just kind of going through story stuff. So I never really got to experience any of the end game combat and stuff. So I don't know what to say about it other than that.
I mean, I played a good deal of it, and I liked it. It's a
Yeah.
it's a good game. It's very very story heavy.
Yes.
I was really happy to read that comment too.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool. So I really appreciate that person for giving you kudos, man.
Oh yeah, that's
And
awesome.
I will correct myself right now. September 30th, 2010. That's when it came out.
2010. Wow. Okay. Okay, and then our last comment for roll call is Deezer with two E's and two Z's. This is also on the Start Strong and WoW tips for new and returning players video. Deezer says it's 2024. Try a controller. I thought personally, I thought that's probably going to make it harder to play WoW. I know you can actually speak on that though, Donnix.
Yeah, I've actually been. I have a handheld deal, a Legion Go, that I've been messing around with playing WoW with more or less a controller, and it takes a bit to get used to. That's for sure. And some classes work better than others.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, it's a possibility you can do it. It's just when you've been playing WoW for 20 plus years with a keyboard and mouse, it's weird to try and play it with a controller.
Yeah. I think the main thing for me is that there's just a lot less buttons to press on a controller, and WoW is a very button-heavy game.
Yeah, it
Well,
uses
and as you, yeah,
a lot of
you do
like
anything more competitive too. I mean, it's the old keyboard, the PC versus console argument, right? Anything in WoW, if you have to play something on the ground and you have to be very precise, it's just not going to probably be as good. You want to do
Trying to
battle
start a
pets or you want to
war
run
in the
around and
comments.
ride your dragon, then go for it. But
well, that's what I was saying. Some classes definitely work better than others for it. Like melee
Yeah.
classes, you're fine. Range classes where you're trying to drop AoEs, yeah, it's a
Trying to
little
aim
different.
stuff, not so much. All right.
each their own though. Whatever
Yeah.
makes your meatloaf.
Well, yes. It is current year though, Deezer. So I will give you that much. uh, so that's our roll call, I think. That's everybody we got.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
So, yeah, appreciate you guys checking out the podcast. Let us know in the comments. What are you looking forward to in the War Within, right? Is it delves? Is it everything? What are the things that you wish that they had improved? Do you wish you had seen more done with PvP? More changes to raids? Just let us know in the comments. We'll bring them up in the next podcast. We'll see you guys later.
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 Laters.